Welcome to a brand new episode of the Jampack Report today for August the 12th of 2020. Of course, my name is Samuel Adams and this is a daily gaming news podcast meant to bring you the hottest news you need to know from around the industry. Hosted on YouTube and podcast services around the world 5 days a week, it is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know. So if you enjoy the show and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and keep coming back for more. However, according to some close-eyed internet sleuths, the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S could be launching on November the 6th, according to controller leaks. A series of alleged controller leaks may have revealed a November 6th release date for the Xbox Series X and the much-rumored Xbox Series S. A summary of an unboxing of the alleged Xbox Series S controller was posted to Reset Era by user Jaw Muncher, who claims to have acquired a picture from the owner of the controller's online registered warranty page. The Microsoft limited warranty for the Xbox Series S controller appears to end on November 5th, 2021. Microsoft's limited warranty covers a year from purchase, which suggests a November 5th or November 6th, 2020 release date. Further to that, The Verge's Tom Warren also managed to source an alleged picture of the Xbox Series S controller packaging, which features a sticker noting that the unit should not be sold or displayed before November 6, 2020. November 6, 2020 is technically a full year prior to November 5, 2021, the warranty end date featured above. If both of these pictures are legitimate, the evidence suggests that the lineup of Xbox consoles launching this November is going to be coming on November the 6th. Of course, yesterday, Microsoft confirmed a November launch window for the Xbox Series X, which does give these leaks some credibility. So I fully believe that November 6th is going to be the release date of the Xbox Series X and hypothetically the Xbox Series S if a lot of rumors coming out of the industry are to be believed. So how does this stack up with what is coming from PlayStation 5? Of course, there have not been as many leaks around the PlayStation 5. We have seen some controllers out in the wild. We have seen size comparisons, both unofficial and official. However, no dates have been found out. I have seen a lot of people hypothesizing that November 17th is going to be the release date for the PlayStation 5, but that has not been confirmed. But November the 6th feels very concrete, which more than likely puts the Xbox Series X ahead of the PlayStation 5 in terms of the sequence of the events, the order of operations, if you will. So with that being said, what is the takeaway? Just keep it in the back of your mind that November 6th could be the release date for the Xbox Series X for those that are looking forward to getting their hands on Microsoft's big next-gen console. Of course, we've been talking all week about next-gen consoles, specifically the fact that Halo Infinite has been delayed, which leaves the Xbox Series X launch lineup looking rather lacking. But Microsoft has fired back and said there are thousands of games that will be playable on the Xbox Series X. On top of that, third-party games coming to Game Pass are certainly a big boost, so we will see how things shake out later this November when both consoles are going head-to-head. However, new reports suggest that the PlayStation 5 controller apparently has about 50% more juice. It appears the DualSense controller for PS5 will have a longer battery life than its predecessor, the DualShock 4. Images of PS5's DualSense controller have appeared online, along with news of its extended battery life. According to the information posted by Twitter user Galaxy666, the battery capacity is 1,560 megaamps? I don't know what that measurement is, but that is compared to the original DualShock 4's 800. Later versions of the DualShock 4 controller featured a capacity of 1,000, according to Galaxy666, who works for a company that designs and provides accessories for consoles, and this is all coming to us from Reset Era. So, of course, the conversation continues on Twitter, but Sony has previously said it took thoughtful consideration into maintaining a strong battery life. The controller is due to launch alongside PlayStation 5 this holiday. Now, regardless of the actual measurement unit that we have here, the ultimate math comes down to the fact that roughly it is about double the size of the DualShock 4's battery, especially if you compare to the early generation versions of the DualShock 4. That being said, I don't necessarily think you should expect to get a longer playtime out of the controller itself. It's more than likely doubling the battery life because the DualSense is doing more that requires more power. The DualSense big features list includes a lot of new rumble tech that is essentially bringing you closer into the game than ever before. It is going to be essentially like Nintendo's HD Rumble on steroids, which does require more battery to really promote and to make possible. On top of that, it looks like the light is brighter, in my opinion, on the light bar, and who knows what else the touchpad is able to do. I think the DualSense is going to be much more capable in terms of what it is able to do as compared to its predecessor, which does make sense when it comes to needing a larger battery in the piece of equipment. So we will see what comes out of this as the news does continue to roll out, but August is going to be a very big month for gaming announcements, especially when it comes to the next-gen consoles. But regardless of where you are buying, you will get a free upgrade to Control if you buy the Ultimate Edition. A bit of a bummer, but something that personally I think is a bit understandable. Existing owners of Control on console will not get a free upgrade to its PS5 or Xbox Series X versions, but those who buy a new Ultimate Edition will. The Ultimate Edition was announced today and will be released on Steam on August 27th, followed by the Epic Games Store, PS4, and Xbox One versions on September the 10th. It will come with all previous upgrades and both of the game's expansions. Alongside that announcement came the news that those who bought the console versions of the Ultimate Edition will get a free digital upgrade to the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions of the game when they arrive, but those who already own the game on console will not. A product FAQ for the Ultimate Edition makes clear that, quote, the free upgrade path to Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 versions of Control is only available for Control Ultimate Edition. The FAQ also confirms that the next-gen versions of the game will arrive digitally by the end of 2020. While by no means a mandated policy, it has become unusual to see game companies locking off free upgrades on cross-gen titles. Whether that is through in-house schemes like Xbox Smart Delivery or publisher-specific programs like EA's Dual Entitlement. We named Control our Game of the Year for 2019, they write at IGN, and its final expansion, AWE, which crosses over the worlds of Control and Alan Wake, arrives on August the 27th. We recently heard that developer Remedy is now working on a full new game set in the Control Alan Wake connected universe. So I've seen a lot of people talking about how unfair this is on social media, but with the Ultimate Edition of the game, you do get access to all of the additional content. So this is unfair for those that have already purchased the basic version of the game and the 2 DLC packs. So I think to remedy this situation, no pun intended, Remedy should allow those that have purchased the DLC for the current gen version of the game to be able to get that upgrade to the Ultimate Edition on the 27th and then to be able to upgrade to the next gen versions for free. Ultimately, I own Control, the base game. I don't feel compelled to argue the fact that I deserve an upgraded version of the game because I do not have the additional content, and the biggest part of any Ultimate Edition is to get that free DLC bundled in if you want to think of it as something that is actually free, because it's not, you're paying for it, but it's kind of bundling things together. So I think that this is probably going to be remedied by a pretty swift action from Remedy itself, but if they don't, I have a problem with those that have purchased the DLC already not being able to access the new version of the game. That's where I draw the line. But for those that just have the base version of Control, I kind of understand where Remedy is coming from with that specific instance. So we will see what comes out of this. I will keep you guys in the loop, but just to let you know, Forza Horizon 3 will no longer be available to purchase after September the 27th. The game is reaching its end-of-life status, but it is on sale for the next month or so. Of course, we talked about this a few months ago, but I did want to reiterate it because the news is coming out yet again. Forza Horizon 3 had everything they write at PC Gamer. A varied Australia-themed map, a brilliant Hot Wheels expansion, and it was the first in the series to come to PC. It was our favorite racing game of 2016, but if you are keen to add it to your library, you'd better be quick. Come September 27th, it will no longer be available to buy. This is routine for the Forza Horizon series. Its predecessor and the original are no longer available to purchase on their respective Xbox consoles, most likely due to the expiration of various car and music licenses. The good news is, if you buy the game or already own it, you'll still have access to it after September 27th, and there are no current plans to sunset the game's online elements. As a result of this imminent delisting, the game is currently steeply discounted on the Microsoft Store. Forza Horizon 3 Ultimate Edition is a mere $21, while the Standard Edition is $9.90, and all the DLC and expansions are similarly discounted, including the aforementioned Hot Wheels expansion. Forza Horizon 3 made a splash when it released back in 2016. It was the best Forza Horizon, and it's now one of the best racing games on PC, Phil wrote in his review at PC Gamer. Vast, varied, and lots of fun. I think these prices are a bit high. Forza Horizon 3 Ultimate Edition for $21 when Forza Horizon 4 is included in Game Pass. Little iffy on that one personally, but if you are a big fan of Forza Horizon, this was one that certainly did take off in a very big way. It really did kind of warrant a lot of fanfare. It brought a lot of new people into the Forza Horizon franchise, and it certainly did build a foundation that the games continue to build on today. So if you do want to dive in and give it a look, you have until September the 27th to pick it up, but if you already own it or you buy it between now and then, you will have access to it even when it goes off of the store itself. But maybe you are in the mood to watch some games. Good news, Shroud is back on Twitch. Of course, I continue talking about these streamers coming back and to and from platforms because it is a very significant part of the industry, whether you are tuned into the situation or not. I was reading Greshik, and then I was like, night? I made a little noise there. Michael Shroud Greshik, one of the most influential live streamers on the internet, has today announced his triumphant exclusive return to Twitch, the platform that made him famous, after a detour to Mixer that possibly netted him a cool $10 million when the site went dark and his contract got paid out. It's a big deal. Greshik was one of the biggest names on Twitch pre-Mixer acquisition, and leaving the site last October for the greener pastures appeared to signal a worrying exodus of talent from Twitch onto other competing live streaming platforms like YouTube, Facebook Gaming, and Mixer. 10 months and one ongoing pandemic later, Mixer is gone and the entire live streaming landscape has shifted again. The power is back with the platforms, which have conspicuously stopped offering exclusive contracts to streamers. Greshik's return to Twitch is the first highest profile move. Guy Dr. Disrespect Bomb getting permanently banned from Twitch and then returning to stream on YouTube without a contract is slightly different, but it is still a very significant movement. As the pandemic has decimated industries across America, it actually helped live streaming flourish. According to a report published by Stream Elements and Arsenal GG, Twitch grew a full 56% in terms of hours watched between the first quarter of this year and the second, and Facebook Gaming grew 75% over the same time period. Greshik returning to Twitch means that his astronomical numbers, he has 7.1 million followers on Twitch as of this writing, will be counted towards what I am sure will be even more growth in the back half of this year. Even so, it is not hard to think about the reasons that live streaming platforms might not want to sign new streamers to exclusive deals. First and foremost, there is the pandemic. While these platforms are growing, COVID-19 has done a number on advertisers, which are integral to the business models of live streaming platforms. Growth does not necessarily mean a subsequent increase in ad revenue. Second, it is not so clear that signing streamers to seven-figure contracts brings in a commensurate amount of revenue. The competition between live streaming platforms only started after Mixer shook up the home market by getting Tyler Ninja Blevins to sign on their dotted line. Now that Mixer is gone, it is not exactly clear whether any of the platforms are willing to shake up that market again. It did not exactly benefit platforms to pay live streamers tons of money just to have them stay there. That said, Mixer's legacy is obviously in how its lucrative contracts showed the top live streamers how much they are worth. Personally, I think Twitch signing Greshik, the author says, to an exclusive deal was more about not letting him leave again, which was a tactical error, than it was anything else, similar to how YouTube immediately signed Felix PewDiePie Kjellberg after his contract with DLive was up. In many ways, you could even read Greshik's homecoming as a return to the old status quo. Indeed it is. So Shroud is back on Twitch at the time of his first stream, which is currently ongoing. It is 5:50 on August the 12th. He peaked at around 500,000 viewers when he first went live, which is a lot more than Dr. Disrespect had on YouTube during his return earlier this week, which shows just how significant Shroud is. He is the king of FPSs in the online world. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So him coming back to Twitch is a very big deal because essentially Twitch's golden boy has returned. He is going to be very significant in continuing to harness, whatever you want to say, growth for Twitch because of just how popular he actually is. With so many first-person shooters coming out, he is going to be very significant for the likes of Halo Infinite when it launches next year, the newest Battlefield, and so many more. Very exciting times to be on Twitch, especially if you are indeed Shroud. But that rounds out today's episode of the Jampack Report. If you enjoyed today's show, drop me a like down below and let me know what you think about everything we talked about here today. But do you think November the 6th is going to be the Xbox Series X release date? And do you think the S will hit at the same time? Would love to hear your thoughts. But until tomorrow, you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. I'll talk to you soon, and peace.